because I didn't plan the worst as which he won't make it. Obviously, okay, he's gonna get out of this.
Sure.
I was like, let's document yonke into.
Any man who suggests the idea of going back to how we used to be when we were strong and we were a family unit clearly has been sent to oppress the black woman. When we go home to our families and our brothers are unemployed and then it's complain, hey, I always need to. But it's because you're not uplifting these guys. You can see them.
Permission granted. You may ring us. Offload your burdens and trust that you'll feel lighter. The darkness lures, but we will shed a bit of light to make your day brighter. You're a fighter, but now you're tired. So rest with us, but ring us, because it's much better to hear you speak up than to read about it on your suicide note while you lay cold face up. XMG, ring us. We'll pick up any brokenness you hoard. We vow to be your entertainment even when you're bored. Ring us, where we talk, offload, see boldly. That's what the brotherhood is for. In your mind, we hope to build a palace bigger than Caesar's. Let's sit down and unfold. Ring us.
Hello, good people. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for the support. Like the support thing you told young nami, like guys, ngiyabonga kakhulu. But like I'm always saying, guys, this is self-funded. I haven't made money yet, so man. I thought maybe YouTube. I thought maybe after my views are money, so told my hey, but hey, it's tough, guys. So please, guys, do join as members. No my mali nembona ukuthi ngiyadeserve. As long as permanently winning, ngiyabonga kakhulu. Vandag I forgot to put my sources, but corner lapho. WhatsApp and all the guys goes a long way leyo. Vandag ngiphathele inkosi game. Like I respect this guy so much. I'm even shaking because every time if I'm like, yo, recession ngani. But I'm like, gonna have a conversation. Sibonsane njengama-outi sibone ukuthi siyaphi. Mr. Black Pen.
How you doing, my brother?
You good?
We haven't sat in a year, 2 years. It's been 2 yeyears.
2 years.
No, Fitz, I'm honored to be here. Bengazi uzoqala ngamanga. Ubani inkosi mina?
To me, bro, like even after telling the people ukuthi abantu ngibajwayele ukuthi today interview, yo, like people were so excited.
That's humbling.
Yeah. Like mfana, you've made it. Kamalako, it's out there, Mr. Pen. Like, never think twice about that. Like, you've done well for yourself, man.
Fitz, I'd like to start off by congratulating you on this platform. I think it was meant to happen, and it's actually late. Mm-hmm. People, including myself, thought you'd break away much earlier. Oh. That's number one. So I'm wishing you the best of luck. As you said to your audience, Fitz, please support, subscribe, like, share with your friends. Donate. People don't know. Once you start knowing, you'll understand there isn't the money that you think of on this platform. Mm-hmm. So any little bit of money so that we can grow our own media houses, because this is a media house, will be greatly appreciated. That's number one. Number two, very, very importantly, especially because we're on a platform, I want to send my sympathies, my condolences, my deepest empathy to yourself, Usisutumi. I fully watched the interview that you guys had with each other, the conversation you had with each other. I know there's a lot of conversation around celebrity gossip and Tandi Indaba Zabantu. But you guys went through something very, very traumatic. And I just want to say, I'm really sorry. I cannot imagine what you guys have been through, how it's felt. But I want to say big ups to both of you because you guys made Ntwana like a superstar. And you inspired so many of us as parents to be like, Ekse, your child is your child. Love your child no matter what. You don't have to hide your child. I know social media is very, very toxic. Mm-hmm. I know that. But you guys had each other and you guys were there to support Ntwana Ncane. And you were there to support Usiswakhe as well. And from me timer to another timer, from me out to another out, shout out to you. Shout out to Sistumi, as I said. And I'm really sorry about Ntwana, but wherever he is, I know that the Lighty loves you guys very much. I know that Ntwana is very proud of you as well as the time Malake. And yeah, man, shout out to Monde Jr. and shout out to you.
Ah, thanks, Mr. Black.
Sure.
Thanks, bro. Like, hey, when you touched that topic, Ntwana, you, bro, like, I was so touched because after the situation, after his passing, like, I didn't want to touch my phone. I think for like 4 days being ibamba, 3 days angisakhumbuli. But when I touched it, I saw your message like, yo, young touch. I was like, okay. Like a lot of celebrities like reach out by phone, messages and stuff. And the funny thing was it was planned, this thing. Like when Junior was born, after conditioning, like I was like, to me, I think this story can be inspiring to many people, Guti. His situation and how his journey is gonna go about, and because I didn't plan the worst as which he won't make it. Obviously, okay, he's gonna get out of this.
Sure.
I was like, let's document Yonkindo. I even created a YouTube, not a YouTube, I even created a Gmail account.
Yeah.
And then I sent Zonki to me, like, sim feeder. I was like, one day I'm gonna give him Asborn Uguti how much he fought. If he gains a good doubt, Asborn Ugutu Luganjan.
Yeah.
But sadly, mfethi, life ayi nathi. Nkulunkulu ayenza kumele akuyenze ngayo.
That's. I'm sorry, bro. But again, shout out to you and shout out to the mom.
Thanks. Bro,
I think that's all we can say. And I hope his sister rises to become something phenomenal in honor of her brother as well. So, yeah. I know Snashaya, I'm sorry to start off on a very sad note, but I had to because I'm here and we're on a platform just to send my love to you.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Sure.
Pen. Because I wanted to touch more because I know I'm a visual when it comes to many things. There's so I was boxed, like you get out of your comfort zone and then ucabanga out of the box. So I wanted to touch when it comes to, because Iringas podcast, I'm sure you're familiar with it, it's about Iringas and
Sure.
a safe space for men to talk because we don't get to talk much.
Sure.
And what I love, after ngitholile le idea, I was like, is the society ready for this? Or kuzobayile ukuthi uqalile. And then what I did, ngazirecorda, same time iceda kufika nje, ngazirecorda, I'm like, I want to start this, I saw this. And then reaction yabantu, I was like, boom, ngiyayiqala le nto. So I want to know your views. Do you think we have a space as men in the society ukuthi basithatha serious, or is it a thing ukuthi badime light yethu just because they want to empower abantu besifazane kakhulu?
Who's they?
Like the government, the people who set rules.
The short answer for it is the man is under attack. And it's funny because there's a sermon by Bishop T.D. Jakes. I think it's still available on YouTube, which goes, "The enemy is after the man." If you destroy the man, you destroy the family. The people that figured that out, that studied that in depth, found ways to really, really destroy the man. And in particular with us, indoda yomuntu omnyama, in particular. We speak a lot about divide and conquer, divide and rule. We were obviously apartheid, where we were divided according to race and even according to tribe. We had Amabantu stance. Whenever they see that certain things are not working anymore, they always find something new to get us to fight. And the one thing they found, which was a weak spot, was our women. Because we love our women so much. And I know a lot of women on social media today will say many things, especially about men. They'll speak about Andrew Tate or Kevin Samuels. Sometimes they might even reference me. But the reality of it is we love our women more than they'll ever know. And when we speak, when we tweet, it's coming from a place of pain and suffering. And now we're also trying to figure things out. When we come from our history, we look at the fact that about today we speak about absent fathers. And it data has something like 70% of black fathers are not in the home. There was no such thing in the past because by design, it's impossible to be absent. Ngoba besiphila isintu. Mawusuke ekhaya uyaphi? There's no way to go. If not you, mhlawumbe intombazana uyishadanga benkanga, as an example, ubaba wakho ukhona. There's always a man around. Bafika belungu, this is history now, this is not even conspiracy theory. Bafika belungu, and in coming they saw how peaceful we were living, how united our families were, and they were like, we're not going to be able to conquer these people with their strong family units. We're going to need to find ways to destroy them so that we can dominate them. Now, in doing that, they obviously wanted our minerals. They still do to this day. They wanted our livestock, which some of it now is why sikhuluma ngomhlaba. Because mawungenamhlaba mfethu awukwazi ukufuya. Angeke ube neinkomo, angeke uzoyibekaphi. You can't put them in your flat. You can't put them in your townhouse. So they came up with the system yemali, the money system. We didn't need money. Besibusa. Umnotho wethu was our cows, umhlaba wethu our family, and we didn't need much. Abantu abasiqokile manje, abakhona abantu abathanda iJewish ifethu, drip. We didn't need that because our drip was our traditional wear. And you didn't have to go to London to go and buy what we made ourselves from our animals, from nature. So they came up with, or they gave us this concept here of money by forcing us to pay tax. Besingenayo tax thina. Yes, besikhonza kwinkosi. Simlethele lokho okuncane esinakho for the benefit of the kingdom or the nation or the village. They came up with something called a hut tax. Uthi wena onorondo mele ukhokhe. Uthi kanjani? But because they created the laws, they were like, no, everyone's going to have to pay. Firstly, it started off with people giving off their chickens, their sheep, their goats, etc. From there, got to know we need money. The only way to get money is to go and work for them. That's when now they forced our fathers, our grandfathers, which is why we have Soweto today. Soweto isn't some piece of land we discovered in our journey. Soweto, and ngengahlala nobhuti uNhlanhla Lux of Soweto Parliament, and he was emphasizing Soweto as the number one example, but all our townships in South Africa are glorified labor camps. That's all. Ihostela yokuthi niyosebenzela belungu. It's not a place that's like never. They are labor camps to this day. In taking us away from our homes to mine, to go work on their farms, in their factories, we left our most prized possessions, being our women and our children, exposed and vulnerable and unprotected. Now, when they're exposed, vulnerable, unprotected, someone needs to guide and lead them. Bangena ke kanjalo. Mabengena lapha bangeni ngesihle to say, look, your husband, your grandfather's gone to work for the family. So please help them and support. That was not the messaging. The messaging was that your man has abandoned you. He's left you alone. He's making money there. Don't you want to make money? Sadly, and we can't blame them because the system operates as it does. Basho bathi, hey, you're right. Ngoba vele umonde vele usemagoli yena uphila kamnandi uPenuel hey kuthiwa mhlawumbe usenomunye umndeni le phambili. So they introduced this concept of women empowerment. We'll speak about feminism, but feminism is a relatively new term in South Africa. It's in women empowerment from the 90s, Othabo Mbeki and the like. Women empowerment, we need female representation, and what that does, number one, is it takes the woman out of the home, away from the kids. She's now leaving her children alone. Number two, it makes her compete with you as her man. She's not competing with the white man. She's competing with you because when the white man went to her, he wasn't saying, you can be like me. He was saying, but your man has abandoned you. So we became the villains in that story. And I'm not saying we're innocent, by the way. A lot of black men left their homes, abandoned their homes, were not sending money back. But they started new families. So there was a lot of mistakes made by men. And we need to speak about that openly, number one. But I'm speaking about, to answer your question, how they captured our women. When the women are now working as domestic workers in the factories, they now also become labor. They're also being taxed. So they've created more labor for themselves and the system. They've created more taxpayers. But now you've left the child alone here. What must happen to the child? So they came up with this concept of school. The schools that we have to this day, from back in the Industrial Revolution, when you track what the education system was designed for, the one we have now, it had nothing to do with solving problems again. Ingane iphume ekhaya kuthiwa hey hamba ofunda ngoba la ekhaya sinenkinga ozokwazi uyixazulula. Asina inkomo, asinamhlaba, asinamnotho, our family is broken, ubhuti wakho ushaya inyawo upe, usisi wakho uyambona ukuthi ulala nabafana for money. That is not what school is about. School is go and learn to become a good worker for the system. And once you've qualified, school doesn't say, now that you are qualified, go back home to go and build your father's house. Bring your father back, bring your mother back, and build wealth. School says, now that you're qualified, go away as well. Your dad's gone away, your mom's gone away. You must also go away to go work for someone else. And that's how the system has destroyed us to this day. So when we try to have this conversation, some of us, we get attacked from many different directions. And people are not understanding ukuthi when we raise some of these issues, of course, khona abantu abazothinteka, abantu besimame. Because according to them, how they've been trained, social media today, they still look up to Oprah Winfrey and all these powerful women. Any man who suggests the idea of going back to how we used to be when we were strong and we were a family unit clearly has been sent to oppress the black woman. And Joba Ngisho, there are a lot of black men who have not done us any service because they failed the families. A lot of us were raised by single mothers. We saw the struggles. So it can't be that Nazis will say, you must go be in the kitchen, because we've seen what it means when Ubaba is not there. But we're not having the right conversation. And until we have that, we're not going to win. And maybe the last thing I'm going to say in closing the answer. When you look at the most progressive groups in the world, Sila Mzansi, so we look like Mzansi. I always use them as examples, and I won't stop until someone comes up with better examples. The Jewish community, the Muslim community, to some degree, the Afrikaner community. And then I think Isonto Laga Shembe is trying to some degree. When you look at them, look at what the men are doing and where they are. They're at home. Look at where the women are. They are not competing. Muslim women are not out there trying to compete with their men and saying, I'm a Muslim woman, look at what we've done. They're not. It's just black women that are on this thing and they don't see it. And when you ask them who is telling you, who is guiding you, none of it has to do with a black man. None of it. So we're here now where our families are broken. And when we try to speak about trying to solve this problem, Jobangisho, we get attacked by the same people who are trying to help. Your thoughts, Chief?
No, I was looking at the stats where almost suicide when it comes to men. And to my surprise, South Africa is on the top 10. And I was thinking, Goti, are we there because South African men are depressed, like us no voice, or are we there because we're weak? To merge what you're saying and my thoughts around this, it's like, I'm sure you're aware, Guti, the apartheid system was to divide value, to take the men out of the household. So I was thinking, Guti, since Lentole, the apartheid now, figure value, it made that, it's okay, abafaz bazahlala endlini abantu besilisa bazohamba bayosebenza. And I was like, umaze kuhamba isikhathi, is the apartheid system still winning till date? And I was like, I'm not sure because there's grand chance there. Abasakhona ukukhulisa, but not in a healthy way because Zning isn't just by this side, man. If you take a township, like the sports, indawo zokuphuzela ziseduzana yonke into indawo zokuphuzela ziseduzana
and ziningi.
Yet at the same time I ask myself question ukuthi if ngizothi the famous spot ikhona eKasi, am I taking away business from this guy? Ukuthi no mfethu uphazamisa system le esizama ukuyibuild eKasi, ithavena ingabi close in, but at the same time this guy has to make money. And then ngiyazibuza ukuthi how do we as black move away from eKasi? Like maybe to ukuthi like from Eskela sasho ukuthi yes, you're from the hood or nin, but make sure ukuthi whatever you do, you move out of the hood because the more silapa, the more we're getting depressed. And the system aswini man as long as sekas aswini. Because trust me, I see Nangami. I'm back in the hood now. And then it's better mentally from when I was in the pubs and my struggles. Even when it comes to Ugringa, I have to be more kasi like if sekas. And then if I'm in the pubs, the language may change just for survival. Because ukuthi kumele ngibonakala ngathi le ntwana le strong. Mafika my peps, I can be anything, my peps. No one is gonna judge me and stuff. So, man, I'm trying to ukuhlanganisa lento le system the way iyenza ngakhona, but we don't see it ukuthi kuyenzakalani. Then at the same time, kube endlini. Me, I'm gonna go. Me, I was comfortable when Utumo was a primary and endlini. I feel like I'm less of a man. I was like,
Sure.
let her shine.
Sure.
As long as if I'm putting effort, let her shine. But I saw the change in her.
Sure.
Nice. I won't say because I don't like lento ukuthi indoda kumele yenze nje. I think we should live as humans. Ukuthi if when uyayenza imali manje and umama sendlini, it's okay. Hayi ukuthi ubani kumele abe nerole, ubani abe nerole. I don't know ukuthi yimi ngizinika maybe ngiyazicindezela or nini. But I was okay with that until uma sengibona ukuthi man la sengathi sekune competition. What you said, I'm going back to. Ngathi sekune competition ukuthi nini so nokuzwa amanye amagama sure ukuthi but kanjani, because as long as uyenza imali and then ikhaya liyakhula, it's okay. Now I'm gonna put your effort ngendlela and then solikhulisa le khaya. And then bengayithandi lento, but I see a lot of that because umabheka isystem yethu manje, even at the workplace, abantu besimame they are given more opportunity than men.
That's correct.
Of which umuntu wesilisa ekhaya we expect ukuthi kumele provide.
That's correct.
Let's say we both qualified. Okay, sorry ne. Umuntu wesifazana ngumuntu wesilisa, we both qualified ukuthi singaba ama-manager. Just because it's women empowerment, mina ngizodinywa nje, you have to shine.
Sure.
That's why ngibuza ukuthi, do you think like a system has failed? Because if this man iletha ke by team, if kumele endlini, kumele provide njengomuntu wesilisa hayi wesifazana, ngasikhathi uena less. So uzibuze ngalo wesifazana uma afika endlini sekayibhoholo uma afika khona.
Am I allowed to ask a personal question?
Yeah, you can.
Out of respect for her, I don't want us to discuss her life and her business.
Yeah. Like, can you?
Without speaking about your relationship, would you say the reason that you guys split had to do with power dynamics?
At some point,
Maybe even money dynamics?
Yeah, at some point, like we cannot shy away, like even till date, abantu basho ukuthi more, divorce by the caused by finances.
Okay. You think that was a factor for you as well?
I don't want to shy away from it. Yes, now you affected it because
Sure.
I would see how the mood would change to Oguti month end.
Sure.
I would see the way attitude being no change. I think we once spoke about it. I'm not comfortable with Magui month end and you don't talk to me.
Sure.
And then begangela ukuthi as sometimes nokubona ngathi ukukutshela lo zinto ngizokustress or nini. And bengwabona amanye ama struggles our face. It's just that futhi aqale uma sihlala la, like I didn't know how I'm gonna maneuver la. I was still new at I don't know, but then at least because her light was more brighter than mine. Naso skhathi yena ufika kwakhe beseka kwazi. So I was like, it's either I'm gonna stay here, libele kenzeka kanje, or I'm gonna face the reality and pull myself out and then ngicala izinto zami. But izinto masile sezenzeka zilibe zi situation bese forced ukuthi ezinye izinto zenzeke.
I think 4 out of 5 suicides are men. And even globally, bengazi ukuthi South Africa is in the top 10. Globally, men are under pressure from all sides. All sides. You can think of any side you can think of, and you've already mentioned some examples. Alcohol abuse is a real thing. And a lot of men are not drinking because gumnandi. From what I hear, gumnandi, but it's from stress. So it's a painkiller. Which one? Now, when the painkiller is no longer working, you need something stronger, then you go to drugs or drug abuse. Endlini, men are losing their power, not by themselves, but because the system is that designed. And I wouldn't necessarily say it's the woman, but she's been given top positions, she's earning well. So this becomes a factor. Many of us don't have access to our kids. Many of us, our kids also look at us like everywhere they go, the black man is criminal, is a rapist, is unemployed. So your own kids don't look at you like that, but everywhere they look, it's our mother is a strong woman. She's an independent woman. You know, we're celebrating women, take the girl child to work, all these things. So our children also don't really respect us like that for those reasons. We don't have jobs. We don't have jobs. We don't have money. We don't have businesses. We don't even know how to start businesses. And then we have to deal with a political elite abafaka nabodwa ukuthi badla amathenda baphile kamnandi mase badla ingane. Some of them, they're also sleeping with people's wives because they have that money and that power. Thina kodwa basivalela ngaphandle mase basihleka as a situation. So men are under strain, and under this type of strain, the mind can only take so much before it breaks. And if these painkillers are not working, and if you're not taking real medication, the next thing, Fitz, is to say, I've tried alcohol, I've tried drugs, I've been sleeping around to also try and make myself feel like a man, especially with young girls. Because stress, or let me go to a younger chick. Out. When all of those things don't work anymore, you're like, I want the pain to stop. And the only way for pain to stop, especially your thoughts when you're on your own, is to take your life. So they take their lives. Amachid. We have to blame the system up to a point. Because if we're always going to blame the system, we're never going to find solutions. And it becomes a scapegoat. And then we become... I know in Amachita, we normally blame women for not taking accountability. But if Amachita are going to always blame the system, we then stop taking accountability. Our grandfathers, our great-grandfathers were defeated. Psychologically, economically. And then they were forced to work, and we are now living the legacy of their defeat. Now, if we don't stop, come together as abantu besilisa and discuss the reality of the defeat, the reality of our present situation, the legacies of that defeat, and then speak about a future that we want, we are going to perpetuate and carry on with this legacy if we don't stop and talk about it. And I think Ringas is us attempting to have this conversation. I don't know what a men's conference really do. I think a lot of them are just to make Amachita feel good. But I don't know if they're really practical in some of the conversations. They might be. And if they are, well done. If they're not, we must tell them that Nalama men's conference in a way, it sounds like you're trying to make men feel like women. Fikani nigqoke niwe kamnandi as abantu besilisa siniculele sinikeza amaflower sithi man you are strong. That stuff you do for women and children. As umuntu wesilisa, we need to tell you, say you guys are failures, and we're here at the men's conference to speak about how can you stop being a failure. Now, part of those failures along with defeat is to have hard conversations about our decisions as men. Now, we're a bit older now, but if you are still at a school-going age, high school more specifically, and maybe tertiary, as a boy, as a man, are you applying yourself there? We are skeleza noma you're the class clown. When you crack my jokes, those are decisions you're making which I can forecast in the future what's going to happen to you. You're at school, you're the guy who's dicing causa, you're the guy that's smoking, when you're blind, no t-shirt, the headmaster, wasabi, what is that actually doing for you? How is that building you? And I'm saying this because we've been through this, we've seen it. You get to tertiary, same. By the time you get out of tertiary, spana siko and. So what are you doing with the opportunities you've been given in school? Number two, amachita spanayo. What are they doing with those opportunities there? Are amachita actively looking to get promotions? Actively, not just to complain about women empowerment, which is fair. Amachita that have been empowered and that are managers, are you bringing other gents up? Noma, you're the same guy, but you can see your brothers are dying. But when you were given a senior position, you decided to not promote umchita, not out of sexism, but out of understanding. It's like, say, we were defeated as a system. And I know every time I empower Muntu Esmame, that means konumchita somewhere that can't provide for his family. That means As soon as I promote this woman, I'm starting problems in her home. Because she's going to go home as a boss. Uzobe itshela, uzobe ishaya isifuba there in the house. I'm the one that's doing that. We're not Thabo Mbeki and all these guys, we're empowering women. Beautiful, necessary. I'm the first to say that. But what is the unintended consequence? All these women you're empowering, what happens when they go home? Where they're meant to submit to their husband? Where they're meant to be wives and mothers? Ubona kahle ukuthi la ubenze isilwane. You've turned them into, oh, she's such a powerful leader. When she walks in, oh, Devil Wears Prada, Janet Jackson and For Colored Girls, these boss ladies. What happens when we see these movies? Why Did I Get Married? I think as well, Tyler Perry. When these powerful women go home, what happens? Lapo, she's found a respectful man, an understanding man. Babe, I love you. Go shine. Go kill it. But everywhere she's at, she's seeing other powerful men. She's like, no, I can't keep going home to this guy. But you're like, angazi ke kumele ngenze njani. So even guys at work, apply yourself, work hard at work. Don't fart around. Number two, when you've got opportunities to be uplifted or to uplift other guys, are you doing that? Are you bringing your brothers? And this goes to a lot of Amachita that I know personally. Are you bringing your brothers into employment? And if you're not, are you being honest? You've got cousins, you've got brothers. They know you work. You're lying. Tell him, why not? We have Vilapa, we Stawa. I don't trust you. Yabomongayeka lento tshwala, lento kubhema, lento yamacheri. Uyimisele into nami, yabo into engagayo ngagama mhlawumbe inyuku amboshaya short course. Masuphasile then ngizokusiza. But njengamanje into nami ngeke ngikusize mina ngoba ngikuthembi. Ngizokufaka esipanini uzohlaza mina. When I say Monday, but this guy that you brought, he comes to work drunk, he's not doing a good job. So we're also not being honest to each other about why we're not giving each other job opportunities, number one. And number two, we're also selfish and greedy and insecure. Umchita ngeke afaka uPenuel spacing ngoba manje mfethu uPenuel mayising outshiner. Imina phela isikhokhe esipani manje lo mchita mfethu uyakhuluma ublind ongamla bamthanda. Mangimfala lo mchita mhlawumbe mfethu uzongeqa futhi ngama promotion. So kuba khona leyo kwalo of not wanting to bring potential competition. But we are perpetuating the same oppression. When we go home to our families and our brothers are unemployed and then ithina kumele sikhiphe inyuku yekesi nenkomo, siya complain, I always need to. But it's because you're not uplifting these guys. You can see them. And I'm saying if you're not going to uplift them, tell them why. Sanbon, njalo ngithengela utshwala nini? No sebenza nini? Silinde wena Grootman usibheke, ngeke nginibheke forever. Mele nisipane bafethu, ngizonisiza manje but ngicela niyimisele. Otherwise ngizoqhela ngeniphinde ningibone. And nizongibiza amagama, nifuna ukungithakatha, it's fine. But I want you to know why ngeke ngitholele isipani. Because you guys are not trustworthy. That now becomes the workspace. Business, we're not even speaking about how to help each other start businesses. The most successful black business people in this country didn't build any business. They were gifted shares by white people. So they can't even educate us. All these BEE guys cannot host a masterclass. If they were forced to host a masterclass, the best they'll tell you is, ngena kwi-ANC, ube visible ma branch, makuphuma amathenda nto usondele. That's all they'll tell you. They can't tell you how to go and raise business funding, how to start a business, how to find a product, how to find a service, how to deal with they don't know what that is. We can speak about all the billionaires and the multimillionaires, and they don't know how to build businesses. There's a few guys, or Herman Mashaba and the likes, which unfortunately some have been sucked into politics, that are actively teaching young guys, but this is how you start a business. In the same way the Jewish Muslim communities do. And then I guess the Afrikaners are farmers, so they train their sons to get into farming. School, workspace, business, women. This one's difficult and I won't have enough time to speak about it. How are you picking your woman? How are you picking your woman? And what are your boundaries? If you want a submissive wife that is going to follow your leadership and authority, that must be the end of it. Once she deviates, you call her out. It can be like a job, verbal warning, written warning, and then you escalate it to her family. umama njoba ngamshada la, noma, I guess if it's your girlfriend, maybe you speak to her friends because maybe you don't have the luxury to go to her family. You speak to her friends, you're like, but your friend is, if her friends are like, yeah, but our friend, is ambitious and she wants to be a corporate hand. Yeah, but that's not why I'm with her. And I'm not trying to dim her light. But I got her because I wanted us to build a family and I needed to play a certain role, the same way I needed to support her in the role I'll be playing. And if she's not doing that after all of that, after speaking to her family, you need to let her go. Women speak about Team Begazela, but we as men need to speak about Natis Begazelela or Sisi that are not playing the role that we need to become strong men. Because as a strong man, you don't have to be rich, by the way. I know a lot of us are misleading each other. There isn't enough money in this country. As a strong man, you just need a woman who submits. You look at Baba Uputi, Putomdala, Umusamselegu. He's found a stunning wife in Usisu Tobile, Kumalo. She's the fourth. Third wife. Sorry, third. Fourth is Umangwabe. She's come in young. She's used the platform to build herself. She's now a radio DJ. She's a speaker. She's an MC. She's a celebrity in her own right. If you look at how she's moving, her whole thing, I'm not going to speak about the latest season. Her whole thing has been, Baba mina ngizosebenzela wena nomuzwa la ekhaya. Whatever money I'm making, whatever I'm doing, it's to serve you and this family. The day you tell me, awusuke lapha kwi-radio ngathi angisayithandi into engiyibonayo, ngizozwa ngawe baba. Not out of disrespect, but because ngiyakuhlonipha and uyangihola in a way that I can see. It's because there's a lot of men in my DMs. A lot of men claim they're calling me for emceeing gigs and they're trying to whatever. And I'm listening to it and I'm like, Baba, where else can you use me? But this requires accountability for you to be a good male leader, which many people can criticize Umselego of in the last season. But I'm trying to explain this concept that your woman can go and be Oprah, Beyonce, whoever it is. But if she's serving the family, I'm not Christian, but what I know how Christians define it is the woman submits to the man and the man submits to God. And God gives the man a mission. So when the man starts saying, no, hey, aren't you becoming too big of a celebrity there? I don't like, now the woman must, Baba, I hear you, and out of respect, I submit to you. I hear your criticism. Is your criticism coming from what God has asked you to say to me? Or is it out of some type of jealousy? Because then we have a problem. Because I bring this money home. I'm not splurging all over the place. I'm bringing it home so that we can make a plan. That's all. If you feel that God is speaking to you and this is within your mission that you told me, I will leave. But if I'm saying I went to pray on it, I went to speak to whoever I consult that we both trust, and they said they think the issue here is maybe there's devilish things that are coming in and it's no longer to the mission. You must submit to the mission as a man. I will be the man, I will be the provider and the protector. You will be the woman, you will nurture. And where you are needed per our mission, you will then go and provide as well. The women we are picking are a problem, and there aren't a lot around, sadly. And a lot of guys, unfortunately, find good women, and then they hurt them for the next guy. It's not by accident that a lot of men would marry younger women. Just by nature, a younger woman tends to look up to an older guy. He's got experience, life experience, by the way. He's got life experience. You should have some wisdom. But now you should also have somewhere where you're going as umchita. And when your woman is no longer meeting that, you must leave. We shouldn't be sitting in a men's conference speaking with men, listening to a man complain about how his woman's been a problem for the last 3 years. As men, we're meant to ask, why are you still there? This is now a hard discussion that could be deemed controversial, especially by women, because they're like, oh, because you can't handle strong women, what. And you're like, okay, if that's how you guys feel, that's fine. But I will tell every man to leave a so-called strong woman if she can't respect him and if she can't respect the mission of the family, which he's meant to be the leader of. If that's what you guys are going to call it, you guys can be single cougars that are looking for my Benten, it's fine. But every other man will be looking for a good, submissive woman that listens to him and bayaka. That's all. Now, there are good women out there, and I feel sorry for them because, there are good women out there who find men and they try to groom them into these men. And it's tough because I'm a now if it's a slimele. I slimele as I'm out. Sometimes a man will find a good woman and uyamxaka because the good woman holds you accountable. No, come home, I've cooked. No, don't be out there for to lo uyathanda ukungilimita yazi nje freedom yami. Uzama ukwenza umuntu mfethu. But awuyijwayele lento ayenzayo. So if you're also aware of that, the right thing to do, unfortunately, is to leave her because uzomlimaza. That's when you're like, it's not you, it's me. You know, you're too good for me. What do you mean? I just think you deserve a better man. You're a good woman. And I'm going to cause you pain. If she's like, I'm willing to ride through the pain. If you're going to bring another woman, a sister wife, let's see, but I see something in you. And I'm going to be patient. A woman like that, to generally will destroy and defeat any man psychologically. But when we speak about a real strong woman, we're speaking about a woman who will submit to you in a way where you can't do anything. When a woman is humble and meek and lowers her voice, you can't shout at her. Kanjani? Yebo, angiyaxolisa ngicela ukubuza. Uzomthuka angeke ukwazi. Sobuka wesithi hayi mfethu ngathi usuyahlanya. The women we are picking are part of the reason why we're struggling so much as men. And this is a conversation we need to have with men and women, by the way, because there's struggles on both sides. But men need to introspect and be like, how am I choosing my girlfriend or my wife? And is she serving whatever mission I think we should be pursuing? And if the mission is woman empowerment, not in our family. The mission is feminism. Not if the mission is patriarchy, or indoor must, or I'm a part. No. The mission is the family must win. The family must win. How does the family win? We can then sit and discuss. You sit in front of your pastor. You sit in front of induna mhlambe manenduna yini, that's wise. You sit in front of both your parents and you say, this is where we're trying to go. Most of us get into relationships and our GPS destination is to the bedroom. That's as far as it goes. We don't have a destination beyond that, which is meant to tell us, what are we actually trying to build? What are we trying to fix? We will get lost. We will detour. We might unfortunately need to get off and get onto different vehicles. But even when you meet another woman and she meets another man, she'll be like, I once met this guy and he showed me the promised land, Nirvana, the destination. And I realized that's where I want to go. So hopefully the guy's not insecure if she mentions you. She doesn't have to. She can just be like, when I was 28, I decided I want to have a family. That's what I want. And the guy must be like, sure, let's go. And she'll be like, no, in the past, I've dated guys and we've gone here, then we made mistakes. This is where we're going. And that's it. And we don't know where we're going. And when you get lost, you end up asking directions from everyone. And most of the people you're asking are lost like you. And if it's not people that are lost like you, you're asking the loudest voice. And the loudest voice is social media. And social media has got no interest in getting you to a family winning position. Social media wants you as a woman to be thriving on your own. Wants you as a man to be laughing when Kevin Samuels and Andrew Tate are bashing women. And the women have got their female people that are like, yeah, I don't need a man. Today, women are speaking about there's nothing wrong with being childless and not wanting to get married. There's nothing wrong with it. Who's telling them that? Social media. It's the blind leading the blind. The most progressive communities in South Africa and in the world are built on strong families. I'll say this as someone who has been responsible with the mothers for creating broken families. Children with women were no longer together, but I was always aware of what the dream and the goal was. Did I get lost? Yes. But I wasn't alone. The mothers got lost too. Would I still like to get there? Sure. But the mothers would need to come on board. And if they don't want, I can't force them. No goes about marry these women, Penuel. I'm like, these are not imbongol on the side of the road over we don't. They must also be willing, and we must be willing to work because we've got generational habits, bad habits, and traumas that we also need to fight with. I must know that when she's losing her mind and what's I'm like, I understand. You were raised by a single mom. You're angry. It's fine. But remember where we're trying to go. Go away, go live in your own flat, what. But remember where we're trying to go. We're trying to build a family and we're trying to raise strong kids. We might not get it right, but let's at least try and leave it in a better position than our parents did. That's all. That's all. I think I'll stop there for now.
That's the thing about you. Interview. You go.
Usuke wabuza i-question mane ngihlaba kakhulu.
Ngisuke ngawa. That's the thing ukuthi angisazi manje ukuthi and nalento bethi ngizokubuza yona about the cat. It's already answered. Ngithi ngibuza okay, let me just say, where is Penuel currently, like mentally, ukuphi as a gent or South Africa? Is he coping with whatever yenzakalayo? Imali.
Sure.
Is Penuel building umndeni? And the other question is, njengoba uthi kunabantu abanoku-advise ukuthi landa labafazi uhlale nabo. Is it part of your plan ukuthi ekugcineni, because like you said, you were raised by a single mom.
Sure.
And you wouldn't want that ukuthi kuyenzeke nasebantwaneni because ibuhlungu leyo nto.
It's not ideal.
Ibuhlungu, and you know ukuthi create umntwana onjani loo nto leyo.
Oblandi njengami. I'm kidding. Hade shane qhubeka futhi.
So yeah, kulezo zinto. And when you look at your kids and how they bakhula khona, are you happy with that?
These are powerful questions. On the things that I said, I wanted to ask your thoughts on co-parenting before I answer you.
Doesn't exist.
As a concept. Or are you saying when you are not co-parenting?
Nah, it's just a term, but it doesn't exist as reality society, especially umakusaqala. First things first, lo muntu lo sasene-anger towards you.
Most of the time, yes.
So kuzoyenzeka ukuthi ama-decision owenza awabenefit umntwana benefita yena ukuthi yena ufunani.
Sure.
Secondly, mawatseka move on. Iparile because unomntwana unama-insecurities wakhe, so kuzaba nama-boundaries ekungamelanga wakcrosse,
Sure.
of which kumele benefit umntwana, but bazowayenza around you two, around the two of you ukuthi no, manje umntwana so umthathe egedini kuma-security awusangena endlini kuzomthatha, awusakhona ukuspenda isikhathi nomntwana endlini naye because ufile ngathi uyamfuna. So for me, I don't know ukuthi co-parenting yini angakayimastari. Nginabantwana abayi-4, angikayimastari till date.
How many mothers?
4.
4 mothers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boy was going nabantwana by 5 boy,
Sure.
and then it's 4 mothers.
Sure.
Angaze ngayo mastera, because as soon as unginika i-boundary ngizoyi-respect. Mina what I've told myself now ukuthi I'm gonna respect lama boundaries abanginika wona until I've empowered myself, ngibe grand, and then my plan is to take my kids, if ngizohlala nini ngihlale nabo bakhuliswe yimi.
If the mothers allow.
If the mothers allow. That's my plan, because manje man, I don't wanna ukuthi sengilwimpe engiyibonayo ukuthi sesihlale sagiwe efonini, yeah, ubaba nje umama nje. It's too much for me, that.
What do you think is better? I know, okay, I think you've got a bit of experience. Do you think it's better to try and co-parent, you and the mom, or to let the mother raise the child? And then when camp school holidays only, but the rest of the time you're like, say, raise the child, mina support her from a distance, and then camp holidays ngizombona. Or should we try to co-parent every second week, every month? What do you think is better?
For me, I think I've chosen abo mama right, because I've seen ama struggles amanye machita face now. But from labo mama nginabo mina baby mama wami, I think ngabayekela babakhulise for manje.
Sure.
And then maybe ngivele after, like, because man, I don't like this tension ends up, because it's say create a hate between the two, and I don't like that, because
And you're dealing with 4 women.
it's
People
not
will
about
people
that.
will never understand. No,
It's
I'm just saying, kona machita
Yeah.
that are co-parenting or struggling with one baby mama. Multiply that by 4.
Four.
Because by fluctuate. Kona la niyazwana, and then something happens. Mhlawumbe useyajola, use grand, or akekho grand. Sebe break up ile nomjito useyakhumbula manje uyinja. So there's fluctuating emotions over time that you have to manage times 4.
Kunjalo. So that's why I shoot that. Co-parenting, I don't know if it exists. Angai master.
Sure.
So yeah, maybe ngama whole day ngishuthi ngizamthatha umntwana makuleke isikhathi umama uyodila naye. But I need to build a safe space for labantwana engibona, because man, I want to protect my kids by all means. Mental, it's rough out there.
Yeah.
So that's why I need to build a safe space for them, and then them if abomama bazovuma.
Are they all in the same geography, same city, same province?
No,
That makes it more difficult.
bro.
Are you planning to marry any of the... no. Zokufaka enkingeni. Awuthi ngingakhulumi ngabo. Would you consider getting married and having isithembu for the sake of ingane zakho? Without asking, what I was going to ask is, have you considered marrying them or some of them? Manje uzoyithola enkingeni. Would you consider isithembu for the benefit of your kids, to a point where you pitch to all the moms would look, I've now got a space, a home for ingane zami. I'd like to invite you. We can build a family, but this is how it's going to be, considering my dynamics.
It just reverse the same question.
But it sounds better because mama number 2 great.
Yeah.
That's when you're gonna get in trouble. Versus just general without specifying anyone.
Nah, I think bona futhi seba move on sharp as ba right laba khona. So I don't want to affect my views wami affect my relationship well. But I know about you today, they have a soft spot for me. If I can say,
Sure.
Sisila, Bangabala, but
Would you consider his temple?
yeah, for me, yeah.
Would you consider his temple for your children's sake?
Yeah, anything for my kids, yeah, I would.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for humoring me. Your questions were what, Gonja?
The questions were,
Was it about ingane?
oh,
If I
it
stress
was about you.
where my mind is at.
currently, and it was about Ingani. The same question you just asked me, it was about that,
Yeah.
and it was about, sure, and people are gonna go to see Kotley.
Nah, it's chilled. As
Yeah.
long as we're having a good chat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And it was about you being raised by a single parent, and how is that affecting your kids?
sure.
Yeah.
My mind is strong, Fitz. I'm very lucky that from a young age I've been studying a lot of very strong leaders, especially leaders that were criticized. Like South Africa, I think the worst one we have arguably is Uzuma. And you don't have to like Uzuma. You can actually hate him completely. But if you look at what he had to handle as president of a country, president of the oldest political party on the continent, he was running an NEC. He was running a cabinet of ministers that he reshuffled Epsu. I think at some point he had 5 wives. I think 23 or over 20 children. All of that, and then you're being accused of corruption. He was accused of sexual assault. The media everywhere is writing about you, not locally, but internationally. When you get to parliament, you're being called names, you're being attacked, whether it's the EFF or the DA. There are people in the streets about Zondayo. If you look at what Zuma was able to handle, pressure, and then he'd still get on stage, get in parliament, ahleke, crack my jokes, nkandla, acula, when you study that, him, I don't know if Kanye has been a good example. People like Tupac, there's people that have been under immense pressure from the world, even something like fame or being very rich. And the way they absorb it and the way they move has to be studied because we've got small problems. People are not trying to take your life.
Mm-hmm.
People have not frozen 200 million in your assets. Your children are not under threat.
Kanye.
You are not being written about in the media. There's corrupt, he looted money, must go to jail, someone must kill. We're not dealing with real pressure. The pressure is relatively. So studying those guys has really, really helped me a lot to be strong, such that whenever people attack me on social media, especially regarding my children or their mothers or my life decisions, I remember those guys. And if you're religious, you've got Jesus. The guy was crucified on a cross. He was tortured. He was paraded in the streets. Luckily, those Omsholos, he didn't have that. Basha much. Zuma must go. uJesu fethu had to wear a crown of thorns, was paraded in the streets, was whipped, and then he was crucified on a cross to be like, this is what happens when you deviate. This is what happens when you don't follow the system. And sadly, a lot of Christians criticize people in the same way people criticize their Jesus Christ. So you look at those guys, you look at Avo Steve Biko and the like, and you're like, no, this is not bad. I'm just dealing with Fetu. Someone on social media saying, oh, you're a piece of shit. yeah, you're a deadbeat, all these pub things. So I'm like, oh no, this is not bad. So mentally, I'm very strong, luckily. That helps a lot. Number two, my children love me. I love my children. My children are healthy. That helps. So that even when people are attacking me at any given time, the people that really matter to me, sikrend. My family, my brother, my sister, my mom, sikrend. The people that love me, my friends and other close relationships, sikrend. So where it matters, I'm at peace. You just leave social media, Faith, and you get to a safe space. Social media becomes this crazy place outside. That's important. I'm not making the money I want to make, but I'm hoping to do so because I've had a change of mindset in the last few months, which maybe people will see in time how I move. It's not selling out, but it is focusing on people that are aligned to my vision. That means not worrying about South Africans. That means not worrying about black people, because I realize that is a huge mess. You rather focus on abantu faith that work hard, that are good, that are trying to build. If that's going to be called selling out, I'll take it. Doesn't mean I'm going to be serving Ongamla and rich people and politicians. That's never been what I'm about. But you're not going to see me riding a wave to pretend like I'm fighting for South Africans abahambe, and fighting for black people. Black unity. We're not united, we're very different. Other people are doing their things. Some of us are just trying to get by and be okay. So with that in mind, I'm hoping to make more money now. The reason I wasn't making money is because I think I was too passionate about South Africans and black people to a point where it was killing me. Not literally, of course. My father was present. And growing up, I didn't know that his presence was weird. You know, each time I was born of it, once a week, once every 2 weeks. It being a champies, because in the space I was in, a lot of us were like that, which made me realize that it's important to put your child in a space where they are not seen as different. So you're putting your child in a space that's great, but all the children, their fathers are there, their moms are there. And when that stuff is going to knock your child. It's a piece of advice that try, and I'm not saying put your child in spaces where all the families are broken, but put your child in spaces where they don't feel out of place. It's like taking Inganyasekas and putting them in a private school. And every time they come home, they're like, I don't have the latest iPhone. My friends are going to Spain. And I say, oh, now your child is dealing with self-esteem issues. Meanwhile, when you're like, but to say private school. And it's like, yeah, but I feel poor there. Rather than fundis in a normal Model C, or grand, and I don't feel out of place. I saw my father. My father was very influential in my life. My mom was phenomenal. She carried the weight financially. And I think myself, my brother, and my sister have tried to be a shining light in her life. We've tried to give her a good life. She's traveled overseas. She's traveled the country. We've tried to get her to enjoy life and to not think about her struggles as far as we can. But watching her struggle and her pain is what drives me and my brother, especially as Aban Beslisa, to be like, we will be there for our kids. It's what led me to fight for some of my kids when I shouldn't have been fighting. But you realize that just as we have baggage, some women, girls have their own baggage. Klampi old lady was problematic. So she's going to take it out on you. Lapo, when you're fighting your own demons, I don't want to be like my dad. Kanti ngapha, you're dealing with another person that's got their own issues. My children know where I am. I'm visible. I've told my stories online, even though people have attacked me, especially women, because truly they get triggered. They have their deadbeat fathers and they're like, oh, I think Penuel, was did. I've told my story. I have access to my kids, except for one. That's been consistent, sadly, but we are cool fan, and I hope I'll be able to reach him in the next few years without needing to go through his mom. This is not what I wanted for my children, but I did not have a plan, and I made mistakes. Now, when I say I didn't have a plan and I didn't make mistakes, I never wanted to get married. So it can't be that I told a woman, but women have always known I wanted a big family. Women have always known I don't want to get married. How it was going to look, I wasn't sure. But all of my kids, almost all of my kids were conceived in Joburg when the mothers were living in Joburg. So today in Joburg, in South America, in parts of KZN, that was not my plan. That's because the mothers decided to move. Whether it's because they got job opportunities, that's their life and they're allowed. But that was not me. I didn't angizange ngihambe ngiyotshala ingane eCape Town. Ngitshala ingane ePE, ngitshala ingane kwaMashu. The mothers decided to move, so they need to take some accountability there. So as much as I created broken families, the plan was to have my children in one space anyways. Number one. Number two, siyajola mfethu and relationships end. And this is one of the things people on social media either don't understand or they pretend they don't understand. Relationships start and end. Many of them have exes. The difference between me, you, and them is that they don't have children with their exes, which makes them feel like they have a moral high ground. Because by morning after Bashama Poshin, the woman I was with looked at me but said, I want to have this guy's child. There's nothing wrong with that. So now I have children with my exes and we're trying to co-parent. But that's as far as it goes with my kids. But we keep fighting, we keep trying. And I guess all we can do with it is to keep trying to be better than our parents, and specifically me and my brother. I think we've done a good job in being better than my father. If my father got 3 out of 10 as a mark, I think we're sitting at Trump 6.5. My brother maybe 7.5 out of 10. Our kids will criticize us, but they must know when they come criticize us. I come from Itamil Ganj. Mina Bengondla, I was there. I loved you. I tried this. Yes, I fell short here. I wasn't married to your mom. Mflopela anala. When I get because I need to pause. Go and show me how it's done. But mina, I tried. Yeah.
Nice. I irritate you about this consensus spelling.
Howdy, brother.
Yo! Hey, fair too.
No, we'll have to sit down again soon. We'll have to sit down. But I think this was a good entry into an important conversation about what's going on with men, and especially black men, and especially poor black men. And we need to have honest conversations about what the problem is and the solutions. And
Are you available? Are you available like during the week?
Yeah. No, we must make time.
Let's make it. I'm gonna call him Jello. We need part 2 of this.
No problem.
We need part 2 of this. Like I hate to go back. Let me try to cut but this.
No.
You know, it just hate me, man. Manglang Pegile, and then imagine this Penuel. I'm like, I'm sitting with Penuel. I'm having a
don't do that.
conversation
Shut the
with
episode
Penuel.
down. I want to see what ngezinto zakho.
Oh my guy. Yo, guys. Hope my Johnson is well. And the funny thing, you know, my insights on it's 85% of women watching.
Women.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And I love it because you've mentioned so many things in Kangut Bazofunda.
Sure.
Because most of the times, my previous guests, I want to topic. I want to talk about broken, chitelo.
Sure.
But I think when we fully look back at us understand it, that's what I wanted most.
Sure.
Which maybe if we could have conversations or understand what we go through, what we face, but I hope bazwile abosister ukuthi amawuthi acabanga kanjani izinto esizifacana. Like most definitely we're having a part 2 of this. Like the next episode kuzoba yini no Mr. Pen futhi. I want you, my guy. Yo.
Monde ngiyabonga.
Like ungivula ingqondo ngenye indlela, like the izinto ezithashayo, like ungivula ingqondo kakhulu. That's why most of the times I watch your videos. My opinion wakho angiwathathi ngiwabheke ngeside lami. I want to be in your shoes ukuthi lo muntu ufike kanjani la. So yeah, like sitting with you, man, it's always a pleasure. Like I learn a lot. Ngiyabonga futhi for ukuthi, you know, I thought ukuthi when I reached out, I thought ukuthi uzothi who's this? Because I didn't think ukuthi okay, you still remember Mondo ukuthi Mondo bani. But for you, because I thought ukuthi mhlambe after me ngizama ukuzimela sengumonde nje like ukuthi abantu ngeke bangikhuluma, because I was that guy.
Ubani his husband, Ubani
yeah, so yeah. Angifuni nokuthi senze because I'm trying by all means
sure
shift from that. So thank you so much, Mr. Black Pen. Ngiyabonga kakhulu. Ngiyabonga.
Thank you, brother. No, let's sit again soon.
Yeah? Let me close it. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for the love and support. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope nizofunda okuningi bosister bopoti. And yeah, guys, let's have a ring us. Let's ring in. And man, I forget every time. Shout out to No Man the Sky for the dope intro, man. Oh, that intro, even the outro now, my puma. Shout out to you, Sisinya Kosh. It's no more the Skype. Sorry, it's no more the Skype behind that voice. Ne? So thank you so much, guys, for watching.
Permission granted. You may ring us. Offload your burdens and trust that you'll feel lighter. The darkness lures, but we will shed a bit of light to make your day brighter. You're a fighter, but now you're tired. So rest with us, but ring us, because it's much better to hear you speak up than to read about it on your suicide note while you lay cold face up. XMG, ring us. We'll pick up any brokenness you hoard. We vow to be your entertainment even when you're bored. Ring us, where we talk, offload, see broadly. That's what the brotherhood is for. In your mind, we hope to build a palace bigger than Caesar's. Let's sit down and unfold. Le ring us.